Okay, this is looking good. This is good. This is good.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. I've also got Halloween music pulled up. So let's see if this works. You guys can let me know if it's echoey or weird or anything. And while we're waiting, you guys can comment in the side there while you're going for your posts and tell us if you're dressing up tonight, if your kids have any epic costumes or anything like that. Just we've got, well, I don't know if Robert's going as this or not.
It's tempting.
I'm hoping that he doesn't because it's kind of creeping me out. It's like the beard.
The beard's
Yeah,
throwing her off, I
it's a little
think.
much.
I could like put it up in a ponytail or something,
No,
or do one of your messy buns.
I don't think that's better.
I don't know how to do those.
But we have our oldest wanted to be the Grim Reaper, which is, I'm not so into it personally, but he wanted to, and he's not going super scary, so I guess it's okay. Teenagers, right? Our middle is, let's see. Oh, sorry. You can tell them about it because I'm trying to help them.
Oh, yeah. So then our middle one is going to be Darth Vader. And then we have a little rainbow unicorn as our 5-year-old. She loves rainbows, unicorns, all that stuff. Of course, 5-year-old girl. It's what she's into. So she's the cutest one, too.
Don't say that.
Well, what? Darth Vader's not cute.
Oh, okay.
Grim Reaper's not cute.
All right, you guys can let us know too when you got your game up, when you're done with that one. Hopefully. All right, Tina's done. Oh, I see. Nice.
Oh, there we
okay,
go.
Who do we have?
Yeah.
We've got like Captain Jack here, it looks like.
That's the...
That is not what, let's see. Not what I was thinking
I'm Danny Rains. I'm Danny Rains, which is Derek's cooler older brother and David's cooler older brother.
And I'm just Derek Bailey, but I've been transformed into a goblin. I'm working on the treatment right now, so I should be back to normal pretty soon.
But you guys are looking great. I like the hair.
Isn't it fantastic?
Yeah, maybe I should try dye mine like yours, you know. I
need to dye the beard now.
I braided my beard hair.
Oh, nice.
Ooh, it's hot though. I don't know about this long hair.
Yeah, I know. I'm starting to warm up too. We'll have to put it up, pigtails or something.
Mm-hmm. Who knew this whole time? Alicia, why are you not dressed up?
Who's not dressed up?
Everybody so far, minus the 4 of us.
I know, right? I don't know if they all got the memo that we needed to be dressed up today because I'm not seeing a whole lot of
memo
that
is
either.
it's Halloween.
Yeah, I think it's pretty universally understood.
So, anyways, I heard.
I got candy corn leggings.
Oh, nice! And I like that True Transformation shirt. That's an OG shirt.
Oh yeah.
I've been trying to get Derek to give me a job as his cooler older brother, reminding him of the good old days when we played football, go Tigers, Orem High. And he keeps saying that I won't pass the background check, so.
I think you have more of a chance of passing than Derek does.
I think that what, 3 years Ian, every single one of your costumes makes fun of Derek Raines in some
Well,
way.
kind of. 3 years ago, I was Derek Raines. I got red spray, hairspray, and put on clothes that very closely resembled him. And he had this cup that he used to always carry around, and I just carried it around and followed him around the office the whole day. And then last year, I secretly sent out a memo to the entire office without Scott Lamb and Derek Raines on it, and I told them, and I got everybody, right? We all put in some money
Yeah.
to do a competition that whoever wanted to dress up as either Scott or Derek, we would do a competition and give them money. So we had like 4 or 5 people be Derek Raines, and then I was Scott Lamb, and then there was like 4 or 5 of us dressed up as Scott. And then this year I was going to be Dave, but Dave is out of town today. And then so I decided I'll have to save that for next year because Lacey, I thought that would be a good idea. I was just going to get a Columbia shirt and then have a bag of pills and pass it around to everybody. So I had to
Just
improvise.
talk about
real quick.
formulating all day and
Yeah.
ingredients.
So I had to improvise real quick, and I became Danny Raines because I don't know if you can tell, it is red hair though. So with his beard though, I gotta take the beard off. Oh, got hair in my mouth.
Well, it's like they're very.
There
easily
is a
could
lot
be
of Raines.
Danny Raines, and it just he hasn't
There are
mentioned.
a lot of, yeah, you would fit right in.
Yeah.
No one would question another one.
I walked up to David and I was like, David, it's your long lost older brother. Remember the cool one? So yeah. Yeah, Debbie says.
There's
There's a
Bailey.
chat over here.
This,
yeah.
This thing is not comfortable.
It didn't look like it. It's like those
Oh,
old
yeah.
masks when we were kids in like the 80s and they were like the plastic and we couldn't breathe.
No,
Yeah.
this is like full blown like movie silicone. Like
Mm.
it's like a legit
that would be hot.
mask.
Oh,
Oh,
wow.
there's a lot of people on here today.
Yeah, they're excited.
So what are we talking about today, Lacey?
Yeah,
You're in
but-
charge.
So, we want all the secrets and we want to, you to just, I don't know,
That's
tell us
pretty
fun
cool.
things.
Yeah.
Right?
Well-
we have this new like really cool app that lets you go on Facebook and share products and they can order it right away.
We'll get to that.
Oh,
We want to know the
okay.
secrets.
Unless-
We've got 50 very dedicated people here today.
Well, okay, I'll tell you a secret, but this one is really far out. But we've been, I'm talking really far out. Like late next year, we've been talking with some tech companies in California. Oh, just one of the bars. Oh, the crispy cakes. So we can show them. I was gonna talk about this, but we've been talking with some these companies, and they do like analytics for, like, how Netflix kind of knows what you want to watch next, and so we've been in discussions, and this like I'm saying, this is way out, but it's really cool, promising tech where it can kind of, they analyze customer behavior traits, and so that's something that the customer wouldn't see, but it would really be more for the associate, and it would kind of like text you and prompt you like, hey, based on our analytics, this type of customer is probably only a 2-month customer, but we think that the best way to extend them is doing this, or this type of customer is showing these types of buying habits. Maybe talk to them about heart and hydration or something like that. So, I mean, it's kind of far out, but I mean, they've been working with it's a type of tech that a lot of companies do use, but they've been working specifically in the network marketing arena for several years now. And so they have a lot of data that it's kind of anonymous data, but it helps us understand our customer behaviors, and that would be something that would all the actual business builders and associates would be able to utilize. So we're really excited about it. It seems very promising. Definitely seems a little ways out though, but that's a secret.
A lot to do, but
Yeah.
like
Wow.
That's a really big one. That's awesome. Wow.
back to analytics and consumer behaviors that's going on right now with social media basically dominating the world the way that it does. Like every day there's a new way to mine data and like extrapolate behaviors from that data. And we're just interested in any kind of application that we can use to provide the best experience for people possible.
Yeah.
Just because that ultimately it translates into better retention, which is really kind of the name of the game,
So it seems promising. We're very, I mean, like I said, guys, don't expect this anytime soon, but we are definitely dipping our toes in, I guess you could say, and seeing if it's a viable option for associates and, corporate to utilize. But that to me has been the most exciting, like on the horizon type of thing that we've been looking at and in talks with companies about, and what it would take to implement and how it could help all of the business leaders. So that'd be something exciting to look for probably end of 2020, but it's a ways out. But I mean, that's your
awesome.
biggest, it's not really a secret. I mean, we're always looking for ways to help improve the business. So, and that's to me a big one. Is that a good enough on the, what we're working on?
That's a very good
Yeah,
secret. That's
Does that
good.
pass?
Excellent.
We were
It's
just
not really a
talking with
secret, I'll
Scott.
tell you. But I
Right.
have been having one of these every morning. And as you guys know from conference, I took my stand and I said that the sweet and salty popcorn, you heard it here first, is the best one. But sales have shown that they're about
Agree.
equal. But I decided at conference, I wasn't sure which one of the regular flavors I like, blueberry or s'mores. I'm officially taking a stance. I'm team blueberry cheesecake. Love that flavor.
Oh,
And then
those are both mine.
of the seasonal ones, we have the caramel apple and the pumpkin spice. I'm kind of undecided, but I think I don't usually like pumpkin spice, so that it had a hard
I
time.
don't either, but like,
Yeah, I actually like this one. If you guys haven't tried it yet, but I still think I lean caramel apple. But surprisingly, I thought I was not gonna like the pumpkin spice.
yeah. But
Which
it's
one's
good.
your favorite?
Well, the first pumpkin spice that I had was like the very first batch of it, where they didn't put quite enough of the flavor in.
Mm-hmm.
And so I was like, oh, that's like okay, whatever. But then I had the next one that was correctly prepared.
The one ready for manufacture.
Yeah, and I was like, oh wow, that's like actually really good.
So I'm taking my stance, and if you don't agree with me, you guys are all wrong.
They're good. The pumpkin spice
Melanie's
to me
laughing back
tastes more
there.
like pumpkin pie.
Yeah.
The pumpkin spice one.
Yeah, it tastes more like pumpkin pie to me than it does pumpkin spice, because I can be weird about pumpkin spice too. Like I'll get a coffee from somewhere and I'll be like, this is the greatest thing ever. And then you get it from somewhere else and you're like, it's kind of funky.
Yeah.
But the bar is like pumpkin pie.
Yeah.
Delicious.
And you guys
I
saw
just
the
had
shorts.
one for lunch. So
Oh, nice. Good stuff. 20 grams of protein. You guys saw the shorts that we sent out in the email, right? Everyone should have gotten that, where you can get the assets. There's a couple different versions of that commercial. We want to release. We probably won't do something quite on that level for every bar, but we kind of wanted to show what we could. Scott wanted to show what he could do, and so that's another thing in the pipeline. He's working on videos for end of the year in January that we can utilize for the combo. So commercials for that type of stuff, which will, I think, help a lot, especially in the new year, with because that's when everyone's really focused on weight loss. We all know that end of the year that kind of is a little less of people's focus, but then come January, that's when you really want to hit it hard. And so Scott's got a lot on Scott Dastrup, which hopefully all of you guys have heard about or met, is working on those for January. So you'll have similar assets to the pumpkin spice commercial, but for our main combo.
It's amazing.
yeah.
We were just talking with Scott
I just want to say hi
a
to
few days
everybody.
ago about. Oh, nice. I'm glad he jumped in.
Yeah.
We were talking with Scott Lamb about the new commercial and just what Scott Dastrup is bringing to the table, and how like it feels like we are more of a grown-up company all the time. So like what you were talking about with the analytics and trying to figure out how people buy and why they buy, like that's just, to me, we're growing up, and I'm excited about
Yeah.
that.
Definitely. And that's something that Scott can bring. Those of you who haven't met Scott, I know some of you guys here have met Scott. Scott has come from a lot of different companies, but his most recent one, we acquired him from Purple Mattress, which is one of the leaders, and they're a big competitor with Casper, if you've seen those commercials. And so he was the creative guy behind all of their advertising, and took them from that company had tried to launch multiple times under different names and was never successful. Then when they brought on Scott, the name was changed to Purple, and then they went to I don't know how big they are, but they're one of the largest mattress manufacturers in the U.S. right now. So, and I mean, you can't 100% attribute to him, but you can. He was behind a lot of the creative. So, if you guys have heard of Purple Mattress, you probably have seen his work. So, and he's kind of helped us before. He lives here in Utah. Yeah. So he does, and they're very much geared towards social media and kind of exactly how all of us market anyways. And so his shorts and stuff do very well and proven themselves in that social media model more than, like, say, a TV model. So they're really good assets for you guys to use as you're advertising on your pages or your group. So I expect to see some really good things come from him. It's exciting.
Definitely.
Mhm.
Yeah. Excited.
So now everyone go on YouTube,
Yeah.
Purple Mattress, and see all the commercials he's done.
It is. There's a lot of them, and you get on like a loop, and you're like, oh, it's just 30 seconds more. I need to watch this next one. And then you spent a lot of time watching ridiculous commercials, but they're funny.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're pretty
They're
good.
fun.
There's one set that they make fun of Folgers, like 90s Folgers commercials, and they're hilarious. So it's probably my favorite. So check that out.
Definitely.
Oh, Stacy's got a purple mattress. I bet
On,
Stacy got sold on it from Scott, because Scott has come and done some of our events with us. But
Nice. Yeah, we
Um,
looked at it. We're getting a new mattress.
talk to Scott. He might have a connection still. I don't know. He did quit there, so might not like him anymore. Now with us.
Just don't tell them we're revision.
Yeah. Let's see what else I was going to tell you. Oh yeah, I figured this is a good time. We did a bunch of calls yesterday with a lot of our leaders over some of the new enrollment features and enhancements that we've done. So I figured this is a perfect time if anybody's got some Q&A. Hopefully I can hit it up and get everyone excited about it, because that actually effect is right tomorrow. And the idea behind it is to help build a business easier, acquire people faster, and have less friction on getting them to become associates. That's the whole reasoning behind it, is to help build and grow the business. But we also realize that all of us having worked on it for the last 5 years, in the current model of how you onboard people, it could be a little confusing. So I think I would love to hit up any questions if anybody's got them.
Yeah, I love it. They should be able to type them over there in the chat if we've got any popping up. Let's see, Maria, we only have 2 option in tools, retail A and B, and no associate option.
Awesome. So
yeah,
let me explain
the
that.
way that I understand that, you can hit up that.
What's that? Oh, you want to hit it up, Lacey? Or you want me to get it?
No, go for it.
Okay. So the new flow. Let me back up a little bit, and some of you guys that were on calls yesterday, I know are going to be like, oh, I have to hear this all over again, but you'll enjoy it. It's good refresher. We looked at the numbers of people coming in, and there is a lot of people that come in as associates purely for the effect, just to get the 20% discount. So right now we have, you have a customer, a retail customer, and you have a preferred customer, and you have an associate. And the preferred customer gets a 10% discount. So really, even if you don't want to do the business, a lot of people want to get an associate account just to get that better price. And so that was kind of the basis, is how do we make it easier to get customers on board? And if they're not coming in to be part of the business, that doesn't look good for the FTC, because then they start to think that your company's a scam, and we're not. So we want to make sure that we look very squeaky clean. So the idea was, well, let's just get the customer, let them have the 20% off without having to become an associate. That way you don't have to come in and tell them, okay, well, your first month is not $80. If you want the combo, it's actually going to be $115, but every month after that, it's $80, because that's kind of confusing and hard to sell. And then you got to explain what an associate is or what a preferred customer is. So the idea is you have your regular MSRP, and that's just, customers can buy anything they want, whenever they want, full value, which is kind of normal. And then if they want to do a smart ship, which is kind of what preferred customers always meant to be, then we give them, instead of the 10% discount, we give them the full discount. So it's no longer called a preferred customer. It's essentially just a customer, but they are on smart ship. And a lot of people are familiar with the verbiage subscribe and save, and that you see that on Amazon. And so it's the same concept. You are incentivized as a customer to subscribe and save by getting the discount of 20% off. And that even outside of network marketing has been a proven model to lengthen your retention in the customer, and to get them more, obviously if they're getting the product conveniently every month, and they're more likely to use it, and they're more likely to see results, which gives you a better customer. Your commissions are more consistent. So getting them on a smart ship is a good idea, or subscribe and save. So, and yes, Suzanne, we're still using the smart ship, but I think the buttons will actually say subscribe and save is what we're definitely aiming for, to kind of have that normal feel that people are used to. But hopefully that incentivizes the customer enough that they're getting a big enough discount that they want to do that. And then you can work with them as customers and keep them on longer. To become an associate, we didn't want to have, we got the reason we got rid of the enrollment fees is one of the biggest hindrances for people to become an associate is, well, I don't want to pay a fee, or this is weird. I don't want to join one of those network marketing companies. But everyone is familiar with seeing, I have a referral link, share it to my friends, get a commission. So every customer, whether they're on Subscribe and Save or not, will have the option to have a link, and it'll be very soft, not pushy, but here's your link, and hopefully once they refer someone, they're going to instantly start getting commissions. And then you can follow up with them. Okay, let me teach you how to build business and really make money off of this. And so they'll automatically be upgraded to an associate. Now, obviously as a customer, your incentive to be on the Smartship is 20% off, but your incentive as an associate, you get 20% off all the time. Now that once you've been upgraded, and that's kind of like, hey, you helped refer someone to the company, so we're going to give you the ability to order whenever you want. So associate account really nothing changes other than how do you become an associate. It's just referring someone. And but the incentive as an associate to be on a Smartship is to get the points where you can get free product. But your commissions, as far as where you're getting paid, how much you're getting paid, all that stays the same. You still get however many levels down you get depending on what your rank is and the percentages. There are a couple of tweaks, whereas before the incentive to get someone as a preferred customer is where you're getting an active, which helps you rank up, which in turn help you make more money. And as a retail customer in the current model, your incentive there was you get the retail override. So now everybody's coming on as a customer, so you're actually going to get both of those. So it's actually even better for you because you're going to get the retail override if they don't do Subscribe and Save, and you're still getting paid on the commissions for them, and they're counting as an active. So it actually makes it an easier model to rank up because every single customer counts as an active regardless of what they're doing. And then there is some finer details in that, and I can go into those if you want me to or not, but that's kind of the basis of everything. So now let me jump over here on the questions, make sure you got everything.
Yeah, I love the Subscribe and Save. I think Derek maybe said that early on in one of the videos, and we really jumped on that and have been sharing that with our team to be using that verbiage. It just takes away a lot of the, what's the word? Like it's less threatening.
Yeah.
I feel like
Exactly.
Smartship is kind of a threatening term, but Subscribe and Save, okay, I can subscribe and save, and that's literally what I'm doing. So that seems to be a lot easier for people to take.
I just read Barbara's comment. I look like one of her old boyfriends from the 80s.
Love it.
Yeah, one thing that we hope from this is I think that when you're reaching out to people and you're acquiring new customers, those people that are like seasoned network marketers, they're still going to be seasoned network marketers, and they're going to know they want to jump on the business, and they're going to understand how to work with comp plans, etc. What I think this does, Lacey, is like you said, is there's a large percentage of people, and I think you guys know exactly who I'm talking about, that when you reach out to them, they're like, I don't want to, it sounds like one of those network marketing guys. I don't want to do that. It's very threatening. They're kind of afraid of it because they've heard bad things about, some of the companies that have abused the model. And so, yeah, it gives them a lot less pressure. They're like, oh, this is more comfortable. This feels more normal. I'm not afraid of it. And so it kind of, it's almost like, instead of throwing somebody, that the old analogy of you throw the frog in the boiling water versus you warm it up, you get them more open to it. And they kind of realize they like the products and then not scared to share it. And then all of a sudden, next thing you know, accidentally they're an associate. So, and that's someone that prior to this would potentially have been afraid to come on because they're like, oh, it's that network marketing thing. I don't want to do it. So.
Definitely. Yeah. Somebody said like the referral links with Ipsy and different things. We're as a society, that's really easy. We see that stuff on Facebook all the time. We see, use my link to get 10% off. So it's just a really simple, non-threatening thing for people to be doing.
Yeah. So there is a lot of, so I've actually had a couple people ask me why I'm not changing the name of Smartship yet. I think one reason is there's a couple of things that we kind of do want to on to make them less threatening. We don't kind of want to do it all at once. So that way it's not overwhelming for anybody coming on board. It's going to be super simple. They're not going to have, to them, that's all they've known. It's going to be easy. For all of us that have been doing this for several years, even potentially 5 years, it can seem like a lot at once. So some of the names like Smartship will have the button say subscribe and save, but we'll kind of like ease into some of this terminology changes. Yeah. So, and Terry, customers cannot get SmartShip points. So we want to save that incentive for the associate. So that way the associate has a reason to be on SmartShip, because if you can get points as a customer, then there's no real incentive as an associate. So we want to make sure that everything that you're doing gives you value. Somebody did ask a question about a couple other details. There's probably two that I think are kind of important. One is, and this one is a really cool one. It's fast start bonuses. So those aren't going away. Everything, like I said, all the commissions stay the same, but prior you'd have to make sure they would sign up as an associate. So you'd have to, pitch them on becoming an associate, and you'd have to make sure they're over 75 PV. Actually, a few years ago it was 100. But with this model, essentially we've removed the associate requirement. So anytime you put someone on an order and you get them to order at least 75 or more, that first time you're getting paid commissions, it'll be under the fast start commission structure, and then every time thereafter you'll be on the unit level. So that's actually a little bit of a bump, especially for those of you that are recruiting a lot of people. That helps you a lot, that fast start bonus. And then the other thing, as far as actives go, before I make this is the one point that I think people can kind of get confused on. So I want to preface this with your pay on PV is the same as it is now. So if someone orders, wherever they order, you're paid on that PV just as you are now. Now with some of these changes, what we've done with the retail customer, because like I said, it's kind of like a combination of the preferred and the retail. So since they're now counting as an active, essentially if that customer, it's per customer account. If that customer to order more than 75 PV, anything over 75 over 75 PV, any of that excess PV, you're still getting paid on it in the same place, but it almost is used as qualifying PV for the direct sponsor. It doesn't roll up to anybody else. The pay is not changing on where it's getting paid, but it can just help you qualify as a seller. So say you're short on some PV, and that's how it is actually right now. There are some people that qualify purely on retail. That's their business model, but the excess we're allowing you to use to help you qualify as well. So that's something really cool that can help some of the business builders, which I think that point is what has kind of confused some people, because it doesn't change where it's getting paid. It just helps the qualification, if that makes sense. Kind of lazy. Get it?
Yeah, it makes
Yeah.
total sense.
Definitely.
Yeah.
So it's kind of
and
a
I
pro.
like that for people that are coming on that say that they don't have enough. Like
Yeah.
they don't have enough to buy that initial product. You can work with them in the very beginning to help them, refer 4 or 5 friends. That money's coming into you, and then you can turn around and get your own product for that.
Yeah, exactly. So yes, Brenda, if someone does stop their SmartShip, they will lose the 20% discount, because that is the incentive to be on SmartShip, is that they get that. So there's some pros and cons there. The pro to you is you're going to get the retail override on it. So say someone's buying a combo for $80 on the SmartShip, but they decide they just want to do it one at a time, and they don't want to do the business. They don't want to refer even one friend. Then they would pay $100 for it, and you'd get your normal commissions off of it, plus you get the $20 override. So you actually get a little bit higher commissions that way. And then, gosh, that reminded me of one thing. Oh yeah, I've talked to a few people. Everyone's going to have a different strategy, but let me throw one out. This is one that's kind of been pitched. As we know, network marketing, a lot of it's, you want to stay in touch with your customers, and that helps them stay on longer. A few people that I've talked to are really excited about this because, their initial touch, they want to sell them on a sample, those that sell samples, and you get your normal $15 commission out of that, right? And then they want to get them on a $100 combo, because these people are new, so they don't know what pricing is, so they'll buy the 100. And then they come back to them again and say, let me help you save some money. I can get you 20% off. All you got to do is SmartShip. And so they've now talked to them 3 times, and every time they've talked to them, they've provided them with some sort of value. Some other people's strategies are to go straight for the 20% off just to get them on the SmartShip, because knowing that they're on it gives them a mental commitment that they're going to continually be on it. So there's a couple different ways you can approach this, but I think it kind of can fit. You can all kind of fit it around your type of sales strategy. Like one idea is, these are normally 100, but I can always get you on $80, save you $20. Or like Lacey, how you said, let me teach you how to sell someone. And there's a pro to that too, because it's as simple as selling a sample. And that's another statistic that has shown that if you can get someone to sell one person, even if it's, their husband or their neighbor or just their best friend, it kind of opens the door, opens their mind a little bit, because then you can come back to them and say, did you see how easy that was? You literally, you can pitch them on, hey, you can get 20% off whenever you order. But once they've gone out and sold it, now you say, that was so simple. Like,
a lot of people are scared. They don't think they can do it. But if you can get them to do it just one time, you can open their mind up to, wow, I can really do this. And so that's another like kind of like a psychological benefit to how this will work, is you can kind of help people understand that they can be just like you and can sell the product.
That's great.
Yeah,
Yeah.
love it. Then there's a couple questions too on the side about, can they push it out? So yes, they can push out their smart ship. It's
that
only
doesn't
if
change.
they cancel it that 20% discount apply. Right?
That's correct. And that's actually, that doesn't change. That's actually the way it is right now as well. And then people have asked why we allow that. So I like to jump in because that's come up a couple of times. That one is a double-edged sword, because if we said you can't push it out, then the customer is likely going to cancel. If we say you can push it out, then hopefully we can retain them and get them to maybe really they do need to just push out for a month or two. Maybe they have a financial hardship or something like that. It does show that you're working with the customer, and while some of those are never going to come back and they're just going to keep pushing it out and never use it, you are going to have a lot that will eventually, you've kept the door open for them. And so rather than, we've taken the stance that rather than like push them away immediately by making them cancel, we'll try to keep an open arm to them, and hopefully you can come back and retain that customer. So that's the thought process behind why we've always allowed them to push out. But we do still allow them to push out whenever they wanted. And now I think it's like what, like Lacey, you said 2 months, right? Is like the limit. I think
Yeah,
it's 2
I think
months.
it's like to the next month. You can push it
Is it
out.
the next
Yeah.
month. Okay.
Yeah. Let's see. Let's see. I've got one. William says, I signed up one yesterday. How can I get her on SmartShip if she doesn't know if she likes the combo pack or not? So I just talk about the benefits of SmartShip whenever I'm talking with someone. I talk about how I'm someone who likes the deal, and so I want the better pricing. I want the loyalty points, and I explain the benefits of the loyalty points. And I'll even say, loyalty points are like this really, I don't know, it's a hard thing for people to grasp. Like, how many of those loyalty points am I actually going to have to earn before I actually get free stuff? Like miles on airlines. I'm like, where's that going to take me? I have 60,000 miles, when am I actually going to get to use those, or where is it going to take me? So I'll go in and I'll say, with your order today and, next month, you're already going to be able to get our lemon oil, or you're going to get to try, let them know that it's like a quick return for that.
Yeah, that's good.
And so, I just kind of talk about the benefits of SmartShip with people. And if they don't want it, that's okay. It's something that she can get on next month or months later if she wants to, or never. So that's all right.
Yeah, and use Subscribe and Save. We really encourage it because sometimes people hear SmartShip and then that just turns them off. But Subscribe and Save, like Dean said, it's on Amazon. It's everywhere. Like you see it. It's being so so commonly used now that it's very low pressure.
Definitely.
I wanted to throw one thing out. If they're already, so anybody that signs up even today, say they buy a control kit of some sort, at $159, they're actually already upgraded to an associate because that's the current model. None of this happens until tomorrow. So if you have a customer that's already an associate, they'll still be an associate when the change goes over. Nobody's getting downgraded. The way the new model will work is every 6 months of no selling will eventually downgrade them, but they'll have plenty of notification on that. But everybody that is currently an associate, nobody's downgraded, even if they're not selling right now. So they kind of almost get grandfathered into like a little bit of a better deal. And then anybody that's currently a customer, same. So if that person that you have is technically an associate account, they'll still be able to do the spot orders of $80 right now. And then you've got 6 months to kind of work on them to teach them. And that's what I kind of love, is that it's easy to just be like, go sell a sample. And then you kind of opened up their eyes. So let me jump in there with some questions. If someone gets the 5 for 5, is the person considered to promote or need to be trained? So the 5 for 5 will stick around. It will have a higher retail. So we'll want them to subscribe. They won't be able to get the $159 price unless they subscribe. And that one we are leaving available with the samples, because that one is the one where if they're coming in, they want to start selling, that they'll get the samples to do it. So that one will stick around. And so technically they'll just have to be on to get the price of $159. They'll have to subscribe to it, but then they'll be able to sell and they'll pretty much instantly be an associate. So if we aren't on a SmartShip, we play retail. We have 100 points. We were qualified for commissions regardless of SmartShip. So yeah, so let's look at it this way. You're an associate. Everything that we've pretty much been talking about is for new customers. As an associate, nothing changes for you. So whatever you're used to right now is the exact same thing that will happen for you tomorrow. So if your commission's qualified and you're not on SmartShip, that's absolutely fine. And even still, new associates, as they refer people, get the same deal that you get. Nothing that I can't emphasize that enough. Nothing changes for you. This is all about how you acquire customers. So commission's the same, how you buy is the same. So yeah, so we just carry on as if nothing were to change for you guys. So this is really on bringing people in. Only associates can get SmartShip points starting tomorrow. That is correct. SmartShip customers do not get loyalty points. That is correct. So actually, yeah, you would have to pitch them on the discount is where you're going to want to pitch them. As the associate, you want to pitch them on the points.
Okay.
Although that might, feedback might make that change in the future. Right now, that's how we're looking at it, is that each step you give them more of an incentive. A bigger incentive for the more things that they do. Yeah, a lot of referral links. 10K pledge and true transformation. So I think the decision was if they are on SmartShip, then they're not an associate and they're just a customer. I'm gonna have to double check that one, but I'm pretty sure we were not gonna change anything there. If they were on SmartShip and they were doing 75 PV or above, then they were able to then they can participate in the 10K pledge and true transformation. Because essentially before you had to be a preferred customer or an associate, and so that's why we kept that with the 10K and the true transformation, so long as they're on SmartShip and 75 PV or above. There is no minimum, Terry, and that's kind of one of the ones that was debated as well. And the idea was, if you are there, the question was, how many PV do you need to be upgraded? And it's really any sale at all. And so there will probably be some abuse there, but the good thing there is, even if they do abuse it and they're buying from you, you're still getting the commissions as you would, and you're opening the door to them to get them to start selling. So they think they're tricking you, but you're really tricking them. So boom, right? So we'll obviously monitor that a little bit. And yeah, Stephanie, yeah, that was the idea, is how can we simplify this so that way, getting rid of PCs, because as a network marketers, if you've been in network marketing before, it makes perfect sense. The 3 tiers. If you've never been in network marketing before, you're like, what is this? Like, what am I doing? So once again, the whole idea behind it is, how do we get rid of that initial friction that prevents someone from being a customer in your downline? So I think that's all the questions. Did I miss any, Lacey?
There's one that just came through. It says privately, but it's, can you define associate again, please?
As to what, they get?
So when do they become an associate?
Oh.
Yeah, well, when do they, I think he's asking, when do they become an associate?
So any customer, whether they're on SmartShip or not, will get the referral links that we've been talking about, and they can refer anybody on anything, whether it be a sample, whether they have a neighbor that wants to get the combo, doesn't matter. As soon as they refer someone and were to acquire some PV, they would be upgraded. And then they would essentially unlock all the benefits that you guys currently receive now as an associate. And that's when you can start marketing them on Let's Build You a Team. So you don't have to pitch them on go sign up, upgrade, buy an upgrade, pay it. And, it's always varied from 15, 20, and 35, but you don't have to pitch them on any of that. It's all gone. Should be easier to get them to do it.
Super simple.
And
Love
then
it.
they're an associate for 6 months at least, as long as they,
Keep
earn
sales.
commissions or sign someone,
Right.
Yeah.
In any given 6-month rolling period. What the referral links will be very similar to what you see right now. Did we lose everyone? I don't know what happened. Oh, there we go.
No,
I'm back.
Shannon Schaefer's screen or something.
I'm back. Referral links, same as you, very similar to what you have right now. It'll just be create some sort of username. If they don't have a username, it's whatever
I
their
don't see.
number would be. So it'd be just like what you're using right now. And they could even, I think they'd even be able to go if they knew what that was. Of course, the customer probably won't, but they could go and use tools as well, just with their ID number.
Perfect. Let's see if there were any others. So an associate does not have to be on SmartShip was the only other one there. So no.
Which is the same as right now. You don't have to be on
Right.
SmartShip right now. So we didn't change any of the benefits for an associate. I think you'll notice, obviously November, December are typically in network marketing and in this particular supplement market is typically lower months of the year as far because you have your Thanksgiving and your Christmas. I think you'll notice your biggest benefit come January when people are looking to get healthy, and you'll have a lot of those customers that weren't. Let me just show you guys what's happening here.
Is that Sean Gibson? That is Sean Gibson right there.
That's amazing. Sean, come talk to us.
Oh, come say hi. So yeah, I think you'll notice your biggest benefit come January when you have a ton of people that are looking to get healthy, and you would have already seen good sales given the current, onboarding. But this hopefully opens up even more people that are just like, I'm ready to do it, and they're not going to feel uncomfortable with the network marketing model because this will feel very natural to them. So I think that's when you'll notice the biggest benefit. So we wanted to release it a little bit earlier just to make sure everything was smooth and everybody had it under their, everyone was used to it and knew how to explain it and was ready to hit it hard running in January.
Yes, I love it.
It's
Give us a little
such a
bit of time.
great change, like so positive. I mean, it's awesome. So thank you guys.
Yeah, thank you.
So
And this came
do
from a lot
you
of
wanna
feedback from the
chat?
field.
Hello,
That'll
y'all.
be-
Camera's right there.
Hey,
Wait, where's your costume?
Oh, I had to take it off. That wasn't actually. We're having a bunch of fun here for Halloween today. So, but we're also working hard to get some things done. And you guys met Danny already, right?
Yeah, Danny Rains.
Haynes. Catching up
Best
with
looking
Robert.
oldest brother of Rain Clan. Yeah, this is nice, right?
Yeah.
I'm gonna dye the beard next.
Gotta be pink.
Good,
Gotta be
looking
pink.
good.
All right, we have a question from Sherry about 5 for 5. It is not meant to be shared. You will always see some abuse. That's why we got rid of all the other packets that include that. You could technically, that is exactly what you explained is how you could abuse that plan. We are watching for it. That's why a lot of the plans unfortunately had to go away. A lot of the business builder packs, because we are trying to monitor it even closer. So now we only have one to monitor. So obviously we'll be paying attention to that. But I think I think it will happen. I think realistically, some people will abuse it. I think overall, it's one of those things that the benefit probably greater outweighs those that abuse it, because those that are using it correctly are learning to build a business and you're giving them the tools to get started. Whereas if we just completely got rid of it, the tools to start creating a business wouldn't be there. So the unfortunate, I guess the reality of it is, yeah, that will happen sometimes. But we didn't want to take it away, because that's how a lot of people actually do learn to build right from the beginning, is by just sharing the sample. So now with only one pack though, it's easier for us to kind of monitor and make sure that that's not happening and try to prevent it where it is. So that's our positive there, is we're kind of keeping track of it. We haven't noticed a lot of abuse with it. However, we've only got rid of it. We only got rid of all the other packs probably 2 weeks ago. So we don't have a lot of data on that yet. But in case you're wondering, that is why all the rest of the sample kits went away. So then we can kind of guide people, because at least with the 5 for 5, hopefully if they're buying it, they're associating it with a training program, and those that are trying to learn, they know where to go. And so it was very similar to some of the other ones.
Yeah, there are always going to be people that abuse it, but I like that it's connected with the 5 for 5 training and explaining how easy it is to share those samples, right away.
Someone asked it there. I got 2 questions. If you're new, you do not have to do the 5 for 5. It's just a one. If you're new and you have a great upline and you guys have something that works for you, then I would stick with that. Don't even worry about the 5 for 5. If you are not, you don't think you have the sport, or maybe that particular method is not working for you, 5 for 5 is always a good way to go, a good place to go and look for some ideas. And then it also can work if you don't have a training program yourself, but you're building your own team and you want to lean on that as a training program, then that's just a tool available for you, but you're not required to use that by any means. It's just kind of a generic training platform. Suzanne, the 5-packs are not available on their own anymore. So that takes away some of that abuse as well.
And I do encourage people to go through that 5 for 5 training, just because it just tells quickly about, I mean, I really liked, there was like a goal setting one that just kind of helps them see this is going to take time. You know, this is not a, really quick, yeah, the light's coming across your face, you're good. But then it's, 5-month goal setting. This is where we're going to be. You're just kind of putting it into their brain from the very beginning that this is not going to happen overnight. And a little bit about the 10K pledge and true transformation, and just kind of, it's a good way just to like learn who we are really quickly in just a couple minutes, and the videos are really good. So I like that.
Yeah, and it's actually built on a lot of, it's kind of, like I said, kind of a generic one, because we didn't want to like really kind of step on anybody's toes that it already does have a training program, but we did want to provide something that was useful for those that didn't. And so it just kind of goes on the basis for how we know a lot of our bigger leaders originally built their businesses anyways, and that is on the sample pack. And so that's kind of where it was derived from. But yeah, it could be a good refresher, maybe give you tips if you're already a seasoned. As far as the 50 pack, somebody asked a question about the 50 pack. I don't think those are still available either, are they? Do you know, Lacey? That's going to be more Derek's department.
So I think, it kind of went back and forth, and then we had to use ESR to order
Used to be
it.
like you had to be like a certain,
Like you had to be a certain rank.
link or something like that. That one we might have to reach out to Derek Rains on. That's going to be more his area, because that's not. So Derek does a lot more with the actual sales. I do more on the marketing side. So it's 50 packs not something we normally market. So I'm actually not really 100% sure where those are at. So I should know,
Yeah,
but I
we
don't know
have
everything, guys. I'm sorry.
We just use the try now links so often,
Yeah.
for people around. So I typically don't have one around anymore.
Right. So, sorry, Sherry, I didn't notice there was another part. Orders are still going to be able to be pushed out, but it's either a 1 or 2 month limit. Lacey, you're thinking it's 1. I was thinking it was 2, so it's one of those 2. So it is still possible. And that's on any Smart Ship order. And sometimes that it can be a good retention tool, especially if they're on a grandfather plan. So originally when the control kits came out, those of you that have been here for a while, the idea behind them is it was to give a better deal when they're bundled together. Then we had this IT issue where we could never grandfather any. And so then we ended up with like 100 different bundled versions. So there was a lot in there, but as you notice, that's been cleaned out now that functionality is actually finally working. And so if you get someone on every month, you'll notice we do like different little bundled kits right now. I think it's the sampler pack. So you get 4 of the crispy cakes with the combo, and there's a couple different versions of that. If you can sell someone on one of these bundle kits and they go on Smart Ship and then that kit goes away, they're now grandfathered into that, and they can actually change anything. Now, at this point, they can actually change anything on their order so long as they don't say they have 2 control kits on their order, because maybe it's, them and their wife that are ordering or something like that, but they want to keep one grandfathered and they want to change the other one out. They can actually remove one and the other one stays grandfathered. And so they'll always be able to get that price. So that's another benefit of Smart Ship, is that you can say, once you're on it, that price is locked in for however long you got it, even if the prices change or the promos change. So. And then if they're like, I'm not sure, you can actually utilize, I'd be hesitant. It kind of depends on your customer, but you can utilize that. Why don't you just push it out 1 month and think about it? You know what I mean? And then sometimes they're open up to it. So it's just a way that it's kind of for that customer that you're starting to lose, but you can maybe extend out their life just a little longer.
Yeah. And then if they're not buying that next month and they realize how much they miss it, then they'll get back on it.
Yeah.
And yeah, sure. So yeah, if you have customers that are like that are older and only take 1 a day, that is something, like I said, it's a good retention tool that you can get them to stay on.
Definitely. Well, we are right about our time, and I think we've answered the questions. Just so you all know how awesome Dean is, they are actually having their Halloween party at the office right now, and he is skipping it to be with us. I asked him for like 5 to 10 minutes, said he could jump out really quickly, and here we are at our hour. So thank you, Dean, so much for spending this time with us,
Yeah, thank
Yeah,
you.
it's fun. I
laughing
love
with
it.
us, having special guests pop on with us. Let's
Exciting.
see. So if you do SmartShip, you keep the price even if it goes up. Yes, if it's on SmartShip, if it stays in there, if the grandfather, kits, something goes away, yes, that price stays. So we just got a lot of thank you, Deans, and love you, Deans, on the side there. So
I love doing it, and
anyway, we are.
I
super
wanted to do it
thankful
because
for
I'm
you.
excited about the new onboarding process. I think I really, I mean, obviously we wouldn't be doing it if we didn't think it was going to benefit you guys. I think it will really help, significantly help get more customers on board, which just helps everybody. Everyone hopefully gets a pay raise. You got more customers and people staying longer. So hopefully this really helps you guys out. It was definitely a lot of time went into seeing how this could be beneficial and really help push the business forward. So we're excited.
Yeah,
We
we are too. We're
Yeah.
really excited. And I think that any apprehension that's there, like once it starts rolling out and we see how it works, that's going to go away. People are going to love where we're headed.
Mhm.
All right. So I think we're good. We're ready to say goodbye.
All right,
Thanks,
goodbye, guys. I'm
everybody,
gonna go
for
back to
being
being
on. It was an awesome time.
Danny Reigns.
And-
Yep. Danny Reigns is back. I like it. Robert's keeping this on
Yeah.
all day.
I am.
Nice.
I guess I am.
We're dying this when we get off here. All right. So everybody have a great Halloween. Stay away
Yep.
from the candy, and we'll see you later.
See you
Bye.
guys.